And then after that was when stuff like started becoming a little bit more legit. Like I played in a deathcore band located in Knoxville, and they're still around. I played with Sin of Remains. Those guys are still going. So shout out to those guys. They got me my first show with like Whitechapel and all that stuff. Actually, funny enough, like Alex Wade was my barber. Um, and that's kind of how like yeah he cuts hair and like like I knew who he was, and I was sitting in his chair one day, and like, we started talking about music, and he was like, yeah, he's like, I'm in Whitechapel, and I was like, yeah, dude, I kind of knew. I didn't want to make it weird, but like, hey, here's my band, you should check us out.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the All Music Matters in That podcast. I'm your host, Brian. And today welcome some special guests from Northern Florida. Welcome the boys from Embers of Dawn, Cliff and Austin. How y'all doing today?
Hey,
what's going on? Doing good.
Thanks for having us.
Not too bad. So I guess what's to do with the band? I guess got any new music you recently released?
Yeah, so we do have, we're getting geared up to release an album, but the most recent single was released on July 7th called Infernal. So killer tune, killer single. We released a live video with that one as well. So lots of promotion going on with that one as we try to push that, but great tune. Yep.
And just for the audience, which part of Florida are you guys hailing from?
Jacksonville.
I guess we all born and raised in Florida, or you guys jumped around a little bit? Austin or Cliff, whatever.
I'm originally from Tennessee, but I've kind of moved all around. But yeah, no, Jacksonville is probably the most recent. Like I got here back in October of last year, so I'm still a newbie. But yeah,
I grew up in South Florida. Yeah, I was actually born in New York, but grew up in South Florida, then moved around a little bit. Pennsylvania, California, and then back to Florida. But I've been in Jacksonville since 2007 now.
Actually, which part of PA did you grow up in? Or I guess kind of had a brief stop at?
Just Philadelphia, just for a few months. Yeah, that was a past life. Going to school up there a little bit and just kind of switched gears. I felt like it was 38th and Spruce or something like that. Rings a bell. It's stuck in my bank. So yeah, such something like that.
All right, that's pretty cool. So not too sure if you guys saw any interviews I've done with other bands, but actually the way this one kind of works is I just kind of ask you guys some questions to get to know you more, both as the musicians, but also as the individuals as well here too. So I guess it was to do the honor to go first. I don't know if we want to do by seniority or whether we just go by alphabets, in this case with Austin and Cliff.
All right. Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
All right. In that case, Austin, I guess first off, what role do you play in the band? And tell the audience your backstory of how you became a musician.
So I'm the vocalist in the band. I guess I'm the new. Well, I'm not the newest addition, but yeah, I sing in the band, make weird noises with my face. But yeah, no, I started about 20 years ago playing guitar, and I've always wanted to be a singer. So it was literally I learned guitar to have something to sing to, and just kind of as it went, I started like delving more into production and. Got my own studio set up here and everything. And yeah, I just love to create. But yeah, that's kind of where it started.
I guess back then in like elementary, middle, and high school, I guess we play like a different instrument at the time, or I don't know if you all stick in chorus too.
Oh, well, okay. So if we want to go back there, so I started in elementary school playing the trumpet. Of all things, and then I moved to clarinet because there were more girls in the clarinet section. So I was like, hey, I'm gonna do that. And then by the time like sixth and seventh grade hit, I started like delving into I was like maybe I want to play guitar, and eventually saved up like a couple $100 and got my first guitar, and I actually still have it. It's actually this guy right here. So this is the first guitar I ever owned. It is a really cheap Fender knockoff, a Starcaster, not even a Strat. Bought that and started listening to like Guns N' Roses and various other hair metal bands, and then eventually went to Metallica, and then Metallica turned into like metalcore, and then that turned into death metal, and then black metal and progressive, and I just like it all. So I listen to everything from I always say I listen to everything from ABBA to Anthrax and Sinatra to Slayer, Barry Manilow to Meshuggah, so yeah.
I guess when it came to transitioning into the metal music, I guess was a little hard at the beginning because you were used to like the screams and all that stuff.
Yeah, so like when I first, funny enough, like I actually royally screwed up my voice when I first started screaming because I wasn't doing it right. Like let's see, when was that? I started doing the screaming thing probably in 08, 07, 08. And, back then they didn't have like, this is how you do the screaming thing. And I did it so much that like one day I went to school after like practicing in my bedroom, and for the whole day I was just talking like this, and I sounded like Batman. And and my mom actually was just like, okay, this isn't like cool, you're not getting better throughout the day, let's take you to the doctor. And they basically did an endoscopy, which is where they stick like the camera down your throat, and I had damaged my vocal cords. So when you look at your vocal cords, you kind of look at it like this, and whenever they move they kind of like go like this. Yeah, mine was basically going like this, so one of them wasn't moving. So like the doctor was like, okay, you have done something to your voice that you might not recover from. So they put me on vocal rest for 3 months. I couldn't talk at all for 3 months. When I was at school, I had to write on like a dry erase board. And eventually it got better. I always had like kind of like this raspier, like my voice dropped down like a full octave after this. And that could have been puberty. It could have, been a, mixture of the two, but yeah, it got better. So now I can do like weird like throat noises. I can do like the Mongolian throat singing, which is part of like the technique now for me. So like doing like, and then it just turns into screams from there.
So you got like the Will Ramos sort of vocal range kind of going now too. I guess
I'm not that good. I'm not going to say like I'm Will Ramos. Like he's a beast, but definitely take some pointers from what I've seen him do for some things. But yeah.
All right, gonna say you got your voice back and everything there too. So
oh yeah.
All right, Cliff. I guess what's your role, and I guess what's your backstory?
Sure. So I'm the guitarist of Embers of Dawn. My whole backstory. Oh gosh, watching MTV and seeing bands like Def Leppard and the Police way back in the day, kind of got me inspired to pick up the guitar. And I was young. I was like 10, 11 years old. And I think there were some other kids in my class that played guitar and they looked pretty cool. So I wanted to get into it and just kind of stuck. And I've been playing it forever, on and off, mostly on though. And then, pretty much in the past 7, 8 years, we'll talk about that, just kind of really got back into it and decided to kind of get something going there. I forgot what your follow-up question was, though, associated with that. Where are we going from here?
There's more so the backstory, but I guess it was eventually going to lead how you guys formed Embers of Dawn, and then kind of go from there, too. But I guess, but it was basically all separate questions there, too, that I was kind of asking Austin. But some of the questions I was asking Austin was like, transitioning like into metal, first off, because normally some people would start with like the classic rock, and then somehow they find maybe Metallica, because that's how it was with me. That was kind of your introduction to more of the heavier metal. And eventually you found either metalcore, alternative metal, and all that stuff. So I guess, what sort of metal kind of got you more into the heavier metal?
Yeah, it was progressive. It's funny how we all found Metallica at some point. But I'd say going back in the day, it was a bit lighter. So like Def Leppard, Motley Crue, bands like that were the first ones that I'm like, wow, this is pretty cool stuff. And then as I got more exposure to things like, Metallica, Pantera, then kind of things got a little bit heavier, darker, and things like that. And then eventually just kind of spread out into all the good old Swedish death metal and things like that, goth, industrial. And it evolves, I'd say now I'm more so into more like industrial metal. That's kind of where things are. But going back, I always have a special part of my heart that's really for that 80s metal, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, Ozzy, stuff like that, Whitesnake. I've always liked that stuff and always been inspired by it, even though we don't really sound like that.
And I guess, did you guys play in various bands before you formed Embers of Dawn? I guess it kind of leads into the history of Embers of Dawn, but who wants to kind of give the honor there?
Austin? I mean, yeah, I definitely played in my fair share of bands. Let's see. I played in a really, like, my first band, I guess you can call, was like a soft rock, like, I guess what they would call like a butt rock band or like a dad rock band. Very much like, oh my God, I don't even know who to like really liken it to. It was awful, but yeah. And then in high school, I played in like an emo band where like we had like the swoopy bangs and the skinny jeans. And then after that was when stuff like started becoming a little bit more legit. Like I played in a deathcore band located in Knoxville, and they're still around. I played with Sin of Remains. Those guys are still going. So shout out to those guys. They got me my first show with like Whitechapel and all that stuff. Actually, funny enough, like Alex Wade was my barber. And that's kind of how, like, yeah, he cuts hair, and like, like I knew who he was, and I was sitting in his chair one day, and we started talking about music, and he's like, I'm in Whitechapel, and I was like, yeah, dude, I kind of knew. I didn't want to make it weird, but like, hey, here's my band, you should check us out. And they're doing like this. They do like this toy drive every year where it's like you get in free and you just have to donate a toy. So we got on the opening slot for that, and like it was really cool. Like we just went up there and killed it. I got to hang in with Phil Bozeman and everything, and that was cool. And then when I lived in Texas, I moved from there about 3 years ago. We had the opportunity to open up for Kubla Khan at the Halton Theater right before they blew up. So that was really cool too. But yeah, and then I met some people that's actually acquainted with Cliff, which he'll probably tell you about. But met the guys from Devil Driver. They're pretty cool guys. Yeah. And then most recently we actually got to go and see 6 Feet Under with Cataclysm, who was on the same management team as us, and that was pretty cool. That was a pretty cool little experience too. But yeah, I've been in all sorts of bands, but this is probably by far my favorite band I've been in. I'm not just saying that because Cliff's in the room, but
he says bad things behind your back, Cliff. Watch out.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I guess Cliff, what was your history with before you guys formed Embers of Dawn?
Sure. Not too much going on. I've been in my fair share of garage bands and cover bands and things that never really got anywhere. Even original bands that didn't do too much. I guess the only kind of claimed quasi-fame I can throw out, when I lived in California, I was in a band with Mike Spreitzer. He was in Devil Driver for 20 years, and so he just left, I think, 2 years ago now, and so he's got his own thing, Verona on Venus. So we were in a band. It's funny, we all lived with the Devil Driver guys in the house there, and so that's when he started joining them. But at any rate, our original band, it was called No Love Lost, that didn't really go anywhere. So I was from Florida. I moved back to Florida, had a bit of time off, and like I said, continued playing in some cover bands and stuff. And like, this is the real big return to making original music now. But it's been about 15, 20 years since I've been really seriously working on original music. So this is my favorite band right now at this moment as well. Yeah.
He's like, you're not just saying that, are you? So that's all good.
He's not saying it just because Cliff's in the room. That's
he's not saying it because Austin's here. So
yeah.
All right. So I guess, how'd you guys meet? I guess it seemed like Devil Driver was sort of how it all happened here, or was there some sort of event that happened?
So It's a little bit of a long story. I'll make it a brief long story. So this band, it kind of leads into the inception and development of this band. This was really an online project. So during COVID actually is when, we're all stuck at home, and I got a little bit antsy and really got back into recording ideas and playing some stuff. And I just wanted to do something. I really wanted to just kind of just create some music and let's see how it goes. So I reached back out to some of my friends in Santa Barbara, California, where I was from, not Mike and Devil Driver, but a few other guys. And we started creating some stuff, and we had some good tunes recorded. Things were sounding great. Long story short, as time went on, the other guys kind of lost interest, and I just kind of wanted to keep going somewhere with it, and long distance stuff is really challenging, especially if you want to like play out live and stuff. I mean, I suppose you could do it, but I wanted to have people nearby where we can practice, rehearse, and just kind of bond and get out there. And so about a year and a half ago, I started to put the feelers out to see what kind of local musicians are around here and there. And we put an ad out for a vocalist probably last, I don't know what it was, September or something like that. And then Austin saw the ad, funny enough, and he didn't even live here. We were at Colorado, it's an interesting Colorado. And he saw the ad, interestingly, but he was moving to Jacksonville, Florida, like the next week. So basically it all kind of worked out. But for whatever reason, that ad came across his social media. There was some type of Jacksonville connection. So we saw it, we connected, and then when he moved down, we kind of hooked up and got things together. And so then, then we had the vocalist there at that point. So that's the short, abbreviated story behind it.
I mean, if there's a better version of saying this is when the stars aligned, I mean, that would technically be it, to be honest.
So. It was weird. Yeah, it was crazy. Like, I honestly, it was kind of like a weird turning point, because I moved to Colorado, and like, you always hear about like bands that come from Colorado, like the guy from Five Finger Death Punch, Ivan Moody, he's from there. And you hear about like all these, musicians that come out of Colorado. So when I moved to Colorado, I was looking for a band, but the whole like year and a half that I was there, I didn't find anybody. Unless like you want to be like in a country cover band or something like that. So I did that for a little bit, but like it just wasn't my deal. But, and I was like, okay, I'm going to give it one more shot. Like, I'm going to like, it's either I join another band or I'm done, like ready to quit music, just, work a day job and everything. And, I saw that ad like for Embers of Dawn looking for a vocalist. And I was like, okay. I was like industrial metal, like gothic stuff. I was like, you don't really see that every day. It's usually like, like who can do the biggest Cookie Monster scream with like breakdowns and stuff, which is cool. But, I mean, it's kind of been overdone. And I was like, okay, like I just don't want to just go, for, the whole thing. So yeah, I said, hey, I'm a vocalist, been doing it for a while. Here's some of my stuff. Tell me what you think. And he liked it, I guess. And he's like, okay, let's do a call. And then I guess he realized that I wasn't as much as a weirdo as other people, and we, we've been making music.
I think I was going to ask how in this case, how a job interview process would actually go after you responded to the ad, and then like it's a phone call, that sort of stuff there too, or was it like a FaceTime sort of call?
It was a phone call.
So you had no idea what it looked like. So yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, he like saw like the. Like we connected on was it Facebook or Instagram?
Yeah, on some social media platform. So we can see each other's kind of background and stuff and all that. And then, just chatted on the phone just to see, okay, you can type, can you speak, because most people that responded to the ad can't even like really put a coherent sentence together or anything. All it is like this profanity written something. I don't know, but like that's their application. So, it was delightful to chat with someone that was, can hold a conversation and like had like, aspirations and knew what he wanted to do and stuff there. And the fact that like, what are the odds? Like, oh, I'm moving to Jacksonville, not just Florida, I'm moving to Jacksonville next week. So I'm like, all right,
15 minutes away from, like 15 minutes away. Like I'm just down the street from him. So yeah,
I could just hear Cliff after it was that whole phone call. He was like, thank you, God. That's what
he's like, finally.
It's a challenge. No, Jacksonville especially, there's not a big metal scene. A lot of it's more, this is the land of Leonard Skinner, country rock, southern rock, things like that. And especially,
Limp Bizkit.
Limp Bizkit, but I mean, for like something that's more industrial gothic metal, forget it. Like, it's not happening around here. It's few and far between. You know, there's some other bands further away, several hours away, Orlando, Tampa, things like that. But for Jacksonville, just the scene really hasn't been, or at least what it used to be.
I guess back in the day, was there a bit more metal, and did COVID kind of like shoot away in a manner of speaking?
So I hear talking to people. I mean, yeah, sure, there's been other bands like Limp Bizkit and others, but at least on the local or regional scene, I think it was doing a bit better some years ago. It has its peaks and valleys and stuff. Talking to some other people just the other night, they're like, oh, actually, we feel like it is getting a bit better within this past year. So maybe the trajectory is going up as far as the scene. But the type of music that we do is still rather unique to this area, I'd say.
And I guess, Cliff, since you just mentioned about COVID, I guess since we know about the music side, I guess, how about was COVID for you on a personal and family level?
For me?
Yeah.
During COVID, when we were quarantined, it wasn't really bad. I mean, I got COVID actually, I think 2 years after that, 23, bad, you know, but during the actual quarantine period, it was okay. No big personal, you know, traumatic stories on my end. It was really just a time, just, you know, everybody's working online, you're a little bored, but actually it was oddly very productive for me. Like I was saying, that's where ideas were coming together. I'll be sitting in a work meeting, but at the same time, I kind of have my DAW open and I'm recording stuff and doing things with MIDI and all this kind of stuff. So I got a lot done, actually. That was the whole inception of Embers of Dawn during that. So knock on wood, you know, things were okay for me on a personal level.
That's good. And I guess, Austin, I guess, how bad was COVID for you on a personal and family level?
Ooh, that was a time. That was a time. Okay, I got it like July I only remember this because it was. I'll get into it. It was July the 4th of 2020. 2020, yeah, 2020, and we had just had people over the night before for like a little get together. Like obviously, like, you know, like that was when they were doing like you can only have 10 people in an enclosed space and everything like that. Try not to gather in crowds. So we had like 5 of our really good friends. Like me and my wife had just bought a new house, so it was kind of like a housewarming thing in Knoxville, and I invited one of my band members over and his girlfriend, and then some of our neighbors over, and then my wife was like, the next day, she's like, I do not feel good. She's like, I feel like, can we cuss on here? You know, she's like, I feel like shit. And I was like, oh, well, you think? She's like, well, like I've got this symptom, I've got this symptom, I've got this symptom. So she went and got tested, and sure enough, she came positive. I came back positive. But here's the thing, I was asymptomatic. I was fine. I was like, I mean, I feel like I have like a little bit of like some congestion, but I don't feel like, you know, like I'm about to die. She was awful, but like we had to call all of our friends, be like, hey, it's like when like you hear those stories of like people who have like multiple sexual partners, and then like they're like, hey, you might have this thing. That's what it was like. So it's like, hey, you might want to get yourself tested. You might have COVID since you came over to my place. But yeah, and then you know, like my wife, they had closed down the hospital, so it was kind of like touch and go. She was having fevers, laying around on the couch. I couldn't really, you know, kind of a scary moment. And then we finally got better. I was asymptomatic. I was mowing the yard, listening to music, like all this stuff. But then my mom, she actually almost died. She got into a really bad car accident. They had to take her to the hospital. Obviously, she had broke like a part of her back, and then she contracted COVID while she was in the hospital. And so it was like touch and go for like 2 weeks. So it was very much an emotional roller coaster. I didn't get a lot done. I was an essential worker, so I still had to go to work. As a matter of fact, I traveled more from my job than I ever did during that time, because I had to also cover I was working in the hotel industry then. I had to cover a hotel 2 hours away, so I was driving once a week 2 hours to a hotel. But yeah, that's kind of how that went. But
sorry,
luckily everything's good.
Yeah, sorry to hear about that, Nate. But it's good to see you and the families are doing well there too. So
yeah. My mom just came down and visited us about a month or two ago. So All good in the hood.
That's good to hear. So, I guess, have you guys played any live shows yet under this band name yet?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. So it's coming up, hopefully within the next month or so. So we're rehearsing, we're practicing, and things are getting there.
We've got some stuff in the works that we're not at liberty to post yet, but it's coming.
Actually, I was going to talk about Inferno a little bit more. Inferno.
Okay.
I'm trying to make sure I pronounce it right there too. I keep saying, I feel like I'm saying Inferno. I'm sorry, but anyway. First off, Austin, did you write the lyrics for that song?
I didn't write the lyrics, but that was my first time. Like all the other songs that you hear on Spotify is a session vocalist named Onur. Onur. He's from Turkey. That is the first one that is me entirely. I just didn't write the lyrics. I think Cliff actually wrote the lyrics to that, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct.
I guess, Cliff, go ahead and describe what the lyrics are about in that song.
Sure. It's a lovely story about a young lady who basically becomes possessed by a demon. So it's your standard metal topic, you know, that's it. But essentially how there's a, you know, this is the kind of stuff it is. It's dark and stuff. We're not going to write about going to the beach and a piñata and stuff. So it's basically about, you know, a woman who just kind of gets bored in life and is rather spiritual and wants some type of entertainment or companionship on the spiritual level, and something evil picks up on that and basically possesses her in the nicest way possible. And so it's just about coming to terms with that being possessed overall. It's a horror story. That's all it really is, a mini horror story overall.
I would say this is turning to the Exorcist sort of moment right now, is it?
Kind of.
Kind of.
Head spinning around, all sorts of stuff.
No, not that bad. A little bit of foaming and spitting up green fluids, and in the end, you know, it's fine. She's good. It turns out okay. So
she got a new tattoo. I don't know if you saw that. Like she got a really nice tattoo at the end of it.
Yeah, you got a souvenir at the end of it if you saw the video. So I mean, it worked out fine. Yeah.
Okay. So I guess for anyone who's new to listen to you guys, I guess here, Cliff Austin, if you want to answer this question, but how would you describe Embers of Dawn to them in terms of like the sound?
Yeah, it's a sound that is influenced by several different genres. So really, it depends on what song you're listening to, right? A number of these songs sound different, but at the same time, it sounds the same, as though you can kind of tell it's the same band. But there's definitely influences coming from industrial metal, like the song Infernal. Like you'd probably hear a Rob Zombie, Static X type of vibe. There's other songs that have, you know, sound a bit more like Rammstein, you know, or Typo Negative. There's some faster paced songs that kind of are influenced by faster paced Swedish death metal bands, In Flames, Dark Tranquillity, Arch Enemy. So it's kind of like all the above. You know, if you had all these influences coming together and then the output is us, that's it. Even to bands like Pantera, Lamb of God, you know, some stuff sounds like that as well. So it's really a mixture of like industrial, cyber, death metal-ish stuff, the confluence of that. You know what I mean?
I've heard like actually, funny enough, mentioning like Static X, one of the reviews that we read on the Infernal video was they said it was like evil disco, which is what, you know, the thing that you know, Static X kind of invented. Like Wayne Static was the king of evil disco, and there's definitely some like moments like that, and I kind of like it. I kind of dig that term, you know, like, you know, if you're being you know, put on in the same level as like Static X, then and that's a plus in my book. So
it's being the same grace as Static X here too, but evil disco. I don't know.
It's got the disco beat, but then it's just some kind of evil music behind it. So thus, it's evil disco. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just keep thinking too much of the big ball they always do that shines and just spins around all the time.
The disco ball.
The disco ball. Every time I think of that, that's immediately, whenever I heard the word disco, I immediately think of disco ball and all that sort of stuff. So it's probably to me being stupid, but but you know, at the same time, I think it was the late 80s or maybe even the start of the 80s too, when there was like disco's dead, all that stuff, and people were like putting the signs up in like baseball fields or something. Then I think they were even like destroy disco balls or whatever it was.
I think we need to bring it back. I think we need to put a disco ball as part of like our stage props, you know?
everyone's just coming out doing the moonwalk, that whole deal.
Yeah.
So
doing the point and everything. Yeah.
Right. But I guess in terms of just influences, in terms of maybe other musicians, for instance, like also in your case was like Phil Bozeman, as you mentioned, Whitechapel, was he kind of a big influence? Or I guess who else kind of influenced your vocal style?
He wasn't an influence at the beginning, but he was definitely an influence like after, funny enough, after I met him because I saw like what he did. My influences are a little more eclectic. I mean, I'm a huge Mike Patton fan from Faith No More. So Mike Patton's a really big influence. Maynard James Keenan from Tool for like the clean singing stuff. James Hetfield, of course, like, I mean, who's the singer who isn't influenced by James Hetfield? For like more of like the gnarlier stuff, Jonathan Davis from Korn is a good one. Why am I blanking? Chino Moreno from Tool, or not Tool, sorry, Deftones. Jeez, let's try that again. Matt Hafey from Trivium, some local, Florida boys, and oh my God, what is his name? And I just blanked on it because now I put it on the spot.
Do you remember what band it was, or?
Seeing that's what I'm blanking on.
Cue the Jeopardy
You know what?
music.
You know what? We'll just say, because we mentioned him earlier, we'll say Will Ramos from Lorna Shore. We'll say that guy. Yeah, but all that kind of stuff. Alex Terrible. Alex Terrible. Alex Terrible from Slard Prevail. Yeah.
That's kind of a little bit of a jump there too, from Jonathan Davis to Alex Terrible.
Yeah.
So, all right. I guess, Cliff, which guitar players kind of influenced your play style?
So kind of going back to the 80s stuff, even though the stuff we play now doesn't really have that many like shredding solos, but some of these guys that I like, everybody always said, okay, you have Eddie Van Halen and Randy Rhoads. Great stuff. I mean, Randy Rhoads is phenomenal, but I gravitated towards people that were considered like a little, I wouldn't say lesser, but not as well recognized. So like Vivian Campbell from Dio, right? He's had his own career in different bands as well, was phenomenal. John Sykes from Whitesnake. Again, those were like two, massive heroes of mine. Like I said, Randy Rhoads, players like that. I mean, I like all kinds of different players, more modern ones, like Opeth is a great band, Orbit Culture, awesome band right now, and there's no real shredding in that one, but I just love their riffs and stuff. But going back in the day from an early influence, I'd have to say people like John Sykes and Vivian Campbell, Randy Rhoads, people like that really got, piqued my interest.
It's always funny too, especially the bands that first got you into it, and especially the ones you still listen to. It's one of those things, it's ingrained in your memory. So I think in a way you find yourself sort of mimicking the play style in a way. I don't know if that's really the right way of saying it, but it's maybe something just to go off by. So when you're trying to craft the ideas, then it's there, then you just try to see where it goes.
Another one just came to mind was Anders Frieden from In Flames. That's another influence vocally for me. But yeah. But sorry, it comes like I'll remember something as soon as we get off here. But yeah.
I'll come to him later. It'll be like one of those things that came to me in a dream last night or something.
Yeah.
So going back to Inferno real quick. I guess the music video you guys did put out, I guess, first off, who did the honors, and do you want to describe the audience? What's kind of going on there?
Like who directed it?
Directed it, yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Cliff.
Thomas Crane from Kill Devil Film. So he's based out of Tampa, Florida, about 4 hours away. And he's made some phenomenal videos for some big bands like Queensryche and Saliva and others as well. And so I just kind of reached out to him just because his genre is really kind of spicy horror kind of textures, right? So this type of theme is right up his alley, and just kind of reached out to him, had some conversations. He was on board to do it. And so essentially we made a plan, and it was really just kind of 2 shoots. The first shoot was doing the band itself. We did that locally in Jacksonville, getting the band rocking out there. And there was a separate shoot over in Tampa where he worked with an actress kind of doing all the other scenes where you have kind of the protagonist of the story and all that kind of stuff. And so he took care of that on his own. And we just shot some ideas back and forth about how it should go, what should happen. But he did an awesome job, phenomenal. You know, when I first saw this, I'm like, man, this is definitely as expected. But again, it reinforced the fact like this is pro level. And we definitely needed something like this. I mean, prior to this, we only released lyric videos and MP3s and stuff. And so we have to start getting more video out there. And this was a great way to get into the video realm by putting something so big as this with him.
I guess in the studio space, was there enough room for you guys to kind of mess around a little bit there too? I don't know if any of you were like jumping around or just doing a whole headbang and all that stuff when it was during your takes, I should say.
Oh yeah, I mean, we actually worked at this really cool place called Stay Tuned Studios, and they have like this one room. Like, and we've practiced there a couple of times, like as a band, but at this particular spot, like it was basically a stage. It's a stage in the back. It's big enough to fit a whole band. So like we did like some shoots that were just solo shots. We did some shots of the full band, and it was kind of awkward because he's running around with a camera while we're like trying not to flail our stuff into him. But it was a lot of fun. There was a lot of smoke, big smoke machine. I lost my voice the next day because the smoke inhalation. So that was fun. But yeah.
Not again. So
not again. Yeah.
I would say we got a little scared at first or two, be like, God damn it, I didn't do it again, did I? So.
No, I knew exactly what I did. Like, I was worried about it not looking, because like when you do a music video, like, I don't know how many people don't know this. You have to lip sync. Some people think that you're actually performing and you're not. So to make it look real, I was actually yelling, so like it would match up. So it was a combination of that and the smoke, like the it's not smoke, but yeah, from the smoke machine. So I wasn't worried. Fog machine, thank you, not smoke. Yeah, fog machine. Dry ice and everything. But yeah, I wasn't worried, but I was like, okay, I went too hard.
Yeah, like I said. All right. I guess, do you guys have a new album coming out? I guess sometime this year? I guess you guys want to do a little promo on it real quick?
Yeah, September 18th. That's it. So Infernal Culture is the first full album from this band. And that's it. This is where it gets a little convoluted because the album was something that I had to put together. This is prior to having the live members. So back in the day, as I mentioned, I had the California people, and then they kind of fizzled out. But then I kept building material. I didn't want to pause. So basically wrote the entire album, recorded it, but got a session vocalist to do all the songs except for Infernal, and then actually got Adrian Erlinson. He's a drummer. I don't know if you've heard of him before. He's in At the Gates, The Haunted. If you ever heard of Cradle of Filth, he was with them. So he's a heavy hitter. I reached out to him. He did drums on this entire album. It's probably worth mentioning that the older uploaded songs have Mike Keller as the session drummer. He was the drummer for Fear Factory. So there's some big names that have recorded with Embers of Dawn, no doubt. But for this album, Adrian Erlinson, he's located in the United Kingdom. He did the drum track, so it was killer to work with him. The album was recorded, and then songs have been sequentially released over the past year. And so most of the songs have already been released. There's a few more to go, but the entire album in itself will be fully available September 18th. And that's there, but it's a little weird in the fact that these guys are just kind of performing and playing the stuff that was previously recorded, where most bands, you get together from the beginning, create, record, and go from there. So we're a little convoluted. It's still working out good. This album will be released. We are already working on new songs for the next stuff. So it's all building. But I think this album should do pretty well. I think people, if you check out these tunes, like I said, they all sound kind of different, and there could be something for you in there. But you can get the whole package. September 18th is the full release, digitally and the hard copy as well. So we have CDs that'll be available.
Do you have the hard copy on your desk there that you can kind of show them what it looks like?
I do. And so here, even if you don't even have a CD player, who cares? You just buy this, right? It's a good, good thing there. But if you have a CD player, like I do, it's still in my car, a 2015 vehicle, there it is itself. So it's cool. So all available.
Is it like supposed to be a concept album, or is it just going to be what is it? Just here's one song, and the next song is about a different topic?
Right. Overall, there's no real concept. I mean, it's all kind of darker theme. The theme is kind of sticks together, but it's not like every single song is like a chapter building an entire story. Not like that. It all fits together. It's the same vibe throughout. Songs sound different BPMs, but you can, like I said, you could still tell it's the same band. And thematically, you can kind of see there is a theme there.
All right, can't wait to hear what you guys got. So September 18th, people, mark your calendars for whenever it comes out. So
we also have some merch. Like we just had a new drop too for the Infernal shirts that just came out, and they're where they're glow in the dark. One of them is glow in the dark. But yeah, they're like two things. But you can find that like on our website. You can buy it there. Whatever you want to do, get some stickers too. But yeah, so we got some new stuff, some new merch.
Immediately when you said glow in the dark, I was thinking like, is this going to be like one of those scenarios we do mosh pits in the dark? That'll do. And the lights just happen to tell us where everybody's at. I think too much of the jackass, that sort of thing. But go ahead.
I mean, we'll know who the Embers of Dawn fans are in the mosh pit. That's for sure. We'll know that. And who knows? I mean, it could be like a jackass stunt at that point. But
actually, I was thinking so much. It was the medicine ball dodgeball in the dark. So that's kind of what I was thinking about there.
Oh, yeah. Okay. It's been a minute since I've seen those. But yeah.
Yeah, it's funny as hell, but it's like, that was probably extremely dangerous, to be honest, considering how medicine balls technically are.
Oh, yeah.
So,
big old 15-pound ball.
Oh, yeah. All right. So I think throughout this interview, I think you guys have listed some of the challenges, but I think currently, right now, I guess, what challenges do you feel like you face these days being Embers of Dawn?
I would say a challenge that we have, I'd say that most bands and musicians have, is kind of getting your stuff out there as you compete, right? Because of just in the volume of material that's released on a daily basis on streaming platforms, right? The literally millions and millions of songs. It's like, how do you get yourself heard when there's so much material that's out there? And you try to do all the tricks and gimmicks and post on social media, but it's still pretty difficult to get out there. Now, of course, we haven't played out live yet, so hopefully things will take a turn with that. But I think, at least in my opinion, that's kind of the biggest challenge at this point, is really getting heard, where I think it's a really good, high quality product. And people that hear it, they're like, this is good stuff. But most people aren't really, it's not coming across their computers or otherwise. And that's the challenge we all face. How do you get your stuff to stand out?
Yeah, that's like kind of the big thing is that there's such an oversaturation. And it's, some people, like, there's that saying that, it's the easiest it's ever been to be a musician. And that is true. It's the easiest it's ever been to get your music out there and everything. But now because everybody can do it, you're fighting for attention. And yeah, like Cliff was saying, like with posting and everything, it's just like trying to find the best way to cut through the noise and be like, you almost have to like shove it in people's face and be like, hey, listen to this, for them to actually, pay attention. So that's the biggest hurdle, I think, for us.
I guess in terms of whenever you are playing shows, are you guys going to go up to neighboring Georgia, or are you guys just going to stick it around Florida?
No, we'll move around. I think we'll start locally / regionally and just see how things go from there. And if opportunities present themselves, and just depending on logistics, we'll go where we have to within reason, for sure.
I mean, are you up in PA?
I am, yeah. Actually, I didn't know how far the Georgia border was from Jacksonville. So that's why I was thinking, well, maybe they'll be close. So.
Oh, yeah.
1 hour.
Like, I mean,
40 minutes? I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, we could definitely go up to Georgia. I mean, I've still got contacts in Tennessee, so we've talked about doing some shows up in Tennessee, in Texas. I've actually got some friends who live in Lancaster, and they're keeping some eye out. I'm not sure where you're at in PA, but they're actually looking at some venues for us to possibly hit up in PA, like in the Lancaster and um, oh my gosh, Allensville area as well. So we'll play. Yeah, Allentown. That's it. Thank you. Yeah, we're we're open to everything. I think.
I'm based out of Pittsburgh, so we do have our venues there, but I'm not too sure how it works. But if you guys do need any help, I could try to help out. So
yeah,
but
if you got some venues that you think would be a good fit, like send it to us. We'll hit up the bookers. We'll see see what we can work out. We're open to everything.
I'll see. Also, Reading, PA. I know Reading does a good amount of metal shows, as well as any sort of artist, really in particular. So you can try and check it out there.
How far is Reading from you?
Probably 5 or 6 hours, give or take.
Oh, okay. So it's like big, widespread there. Okay.
Well, Pittsburgh is like here, close to the Ohio border, and Reading's kind of like up here, in the upper half of PA, getting close to New York. So it's a little bit of a drive. So, hey. So, we've got to talk about gear. So I guess for this project, Cliff, what do you use?
For recording this stuff for gear, so the album, I used Reaper, the DAWs, if you want to talk about, DAWs and things like that. Different guitars were used depending on what was required. I have a bunch of different ones, Jackson ESP, Ibanez, there were a few of them involved. The sounds itself, a lot of it was using plugins, really looking at, Fortin Cali, stuff like that. Also looking at ToneForge has one called Disruptor. What else did I use? Archetype Cohere, there was another one. So it's a few different ones. And then also the guy who produced it, Richie Wainwright, a lot of times I would send him the DI guitar, and he would even put his own types of distortion and pedals on there, that were a bit different. So it's really just a mix of stuff. And there's also, if you listen, there's a lot of synth and keyboards, so all different types of plugins, and using MIDI programming for that as well, But in the most general sense, that's kind of what was used. Now going live, I don't know if you want to talk about that a little bit. For that, I'm using a Helix modeler. So I'm using that going direct. So there's no real amp cabs and anything like large per se, but it's the Helix as opposed to like Kemper or Fractal. That one's worked out just fine for a bit. So sticking with that.
All right, Austin, have you used any of those guitars back there for this project?
No. I have done nothing music, like as far as like musicianship. I mean, I use this mic to record Infernal, and then I sent it to Cliff, and he did some magic on it. The DAW that I use is Logic, so I use a lot of plugins from there. I mean, yeah, I haven't really used anything musically on it, but live I use the Sennheiser thing. So if Sennheiser wants to sponsor me, I'd greatly take it. This mic's been through the ringer. I mean, there's even rust on the grill, so that's kind of gross. But there you go.
We could say spitting venom on it too, or something like that.
Yeah, so. It's like corrosive. Yeah,
that'll do. Cliff, have you been pretty much the producer for this whole project right here, or have you kind of gone to somebody else to kind of help out with all the sound?
Right. I mean, you can think of it like that. I did a lot of production, pre-production, but to kind of like finalize it and tweak it, that's what I was saying. This guy, Richie Wainwright, who's in the United Kingdom as well, he actually did the proper production, is kind of tweaking everything, getting everything to sound right, ended up doing the mixing and the mastering overall. So he did a great job. Young guy out there in UK.
He's got a really popping YouTube too. So if you follow him on YouTube, like plethora of knowledge, super cool guy. It was funny. Like I'd been a fan of his for a while, and then Cliff's like, "Yeah, this guy Richie did the production on." Like when me and him first talked, and I was like, And he's like, yeah, he's from the UK. And I was like Richie Wainwright, and he's like, yeah, you know him? And I was like, yeah, I know Richie. So yeah, it's been kind of cool to work with him. Well, as much as like I've worked with him, but yeah.
Yeah, he's a popular bloke to say the least there too. If we're gonna use some of the UK English, so yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that's all cool. So a huge shout out right there to Richie for the big help there too.
Yes,
so.
Thank you, Richie.
All right, just want to make sure. Oh, you know what? Let's talk about AI real quick, and then we'll jump into some extra fun questions. So, I'm not sure if you used AI in any of the music or artwork, but what do you guys make of AI in social media these days?
It's great to have AI make all your music and all your artwork. And so that's what happened. No, I'm kidding. It's obviously, it depends on your perspective. I guess I could start with my opinion. I would not use AI to make the music, when you have the capability to make it. I don't know. I want to hear myself playing and doing stuff on there. And just the whole concept, like many people agree, like making this stuff artificially and then just kind of marketing and banking off that, it just doesn't seem right. Now, as many people will tell you, and we say over and over, it is a good tool, right? If you want to strategize and use it in innovative ways. So for like social media, use it all the time, like what are good social media posts if the topic is this, just to get some ideas about there. Again, there's only so many ways you can post something or say it. So using AI to help generate social media, even some artwork. I mean, this was actually commissioned. So there was a guy in Portugal who actually, was commissioned to create this artwork. So this is the real deal. But then again, I mean, who has the money to spend $600 on every single artwork, right? So there's a time and a place to use it. And if you have to use AI to generate some artwork some of the time, I mean, again, I could see the argument for and against, but again, I think it should be allowed up to a certain level. So I guess my personal opinion is, I don't like to see it being used to create the music, but if you want to use it as a tool for means of promoting the band, otherwise, some artwork, strategizing, social media events, things like that, why not?
I have a little bit of a probably a more of a boomer take on it. And I'm going to say this: I have used AI, not for music. I have used it for artwork ideas, but I have never posted anything claiming that was artwork with AI, because I think that overall, like, you should at least try to commission a real person to do it. There's a lot of environmental things, me trying to be more environmentally cautious, like with like water usage and everything. It's a cool concept, and if it wasn't so destructive to job creation and the environment, I would probably use it more. And like Cliff said, it's a good tool, especially if like you're using it for strategizing. But I think right now it's a little bit more of a con versus pro type of thing. But I think that, like, give it a couple of years and maybe some regulations to where it can't replace jobs, because one of my buddies, did lose his job to AI, and that's a big point of contention I have for it. But let's see where it goes, and cool for progress, but be less destructive. Don't be an asshole corporation. That's the way I look at it.
Actually, it's funny you do bring up the data centers, because a relative of mine, I talked about, she took this class, and it's actually like one of those classes that a certain university also allows you to take, so you can learn like this and that too, like even a certain skill you probably didn't have before. But in this particular class, it talked about AI and even data centers. And currently, the administration is pretty against like using sort of like energy. What was the word you kind of used? Sort of like energy savers, to say the least. So like your air conditioner doesn't use like a whole lot of energy to produce a cool air that kind of keeps your house cool, or even the gas and natural gas, that sort of stuff right there too. So that's why they're using so much water, and that's why it ends up getting a little bit more destructive in terms of the environment. So
yeah, and like it's one of those things, like there are so many renewable ways that you could use it that I think would be like, like for instance, I mean, we live in Florida, and like, big thing is like the water and the wildlife and the water and stuff like that, I think that there was a big push to put one in the Everglades, and I'm glad it got shot down because, like, for one, that's a protected area. There's a lot of wildlife that's endangered in the Everglades, and like, not to sound like a hippie or anything, but we need to save the Earth any way we can before we worry about other worlds being explored and all that shit. So, until they find a different way, I'm going to say use it sparingly, and only if you absolutely need to, which we went years without it. But yeah, that's my soapbox on AI.
No sense doing business on a dying planet. So
yeah, exactly. Like, if the people aren't there to listen to you, and if they don't have a job to come out and see you, and it's going to kind of cease to do anything.
That's for sure. And I did forget to ask, first off, how'd you come up with the name Cliff, Embers of Dawn? And again, who's the other band members in your group?
Yeah. So starting, I guess, working backwards, the other band members. So you have us, Austin's doing vocals, I'm doing guitar. We have another chap named Grover Norton who's playing drums. And then the fourth guy is Scott Van Horn, who's playing bass and doing some programming as well on a little bit of the writing there. So it's really a 4-piece. It's the four of us we have the live lineup now. The band name in itself was derived back in the day with my buddies in California. There's no deep symbolic story. It seems like every cool name is already taken. So what you have to do is take in a random assemblage of words and see if you put them together and see if that pops up as a band or not. And when you put Embers of Dawn together, a band didn't come up. I think a romance novel from the 1980s popped up, but that's okay. It wasn't that popular. So Embers of Dawn, let's go with that back then, just because it was really difficult to find something else, at that time. So it's got a cool name. It's kind of hard to tell maybe even what kind of music it could be. Is it just kind of some kind of dark trance? Is it metal? Could be something, it could apply to anything. I didn't want it to be like Dying Fetus or Cattle Decapitation, where it's like, okay, I know what kind of music I'm getting into. Just kind of a little bit of an enigma. You don't know exactly what it is too. So that was it.
Then again, I think if you want to be like a band like Dying Fetus, it would be like you want to offend somebody. So
right, yeah.
So yeah. All right. That's a good choice right there.
Yeah, it's very neutral. It's not offensive, it's just it exists. That's really it.
I mean, if somebody takes offense, it'd be like, but seriously, there are worse bands that you could probably get offended by pretty easily, to be honest.
Oh yeah. I could name like 5 just off the cuff. But if you're putting this on YouTube, it'd get demonetized.
I mean, I know about the death metal band Aborted, but we'll just leave it at that. So.
There's one that's even worse, but I won't do it.
I think I know which one you're talking about, but let's not go there.
Yeah.
We'll stop.
But Embers of Dawn, I don't think how you can really get offended by that. Like, you take offense to the dawn of the dead. I don't know. So
are you a vampire? Like, yeah. Are you?
It's devil music, that whole deal. It's like that's a heavy. I mean, you're in Florida too, so I mean, like, that was where Deicide, Obituary, and Morbid Angel came out of. So
all that, and even even the Infernal video, when people are like, she's possessed, it's all it is like a horror story. Like I said, it's entertainment. It's something cool and interesting to look at. That's all it is. You don't have to dive in that much deeper into it. It's nothing that evil and satanic. All it is entertainment. A little bit of shock value, something cool to look at.
Yeah.
So the impression I kind of got was it was almost like being sort of obsessed with the material in that case, if you know what I mean. Or I guess whatever possessions she really like wanted, to say the least. That's sort of the thing I got from it too. Maybe that's not what your intent was, but
well, I mean, yeah, like with like being in possession, you could go into the 7 deadly sins and all that stuff. Like you could say that she was into it, like you could say that, but it's like Cliff said, it's entertainment.
You can interpret it however you want. You can interpret it as she listened to our music and it was so bad she threw up and foamed at the mouth. So there.
I guess so. All right. So, boys, we have reached the questions here pretty good. So let's jump through some fun ones real quick. So, ready?
Okay.
All right. So, I guess, Cliff, I'm curious if there's a particular dish I've not heard about yet from the Jacksonville area, but what would you say is currently your favorite food?
My favorite food. That's actually a very difficult question. Gosh, I like all kinds of food. I mean, if I have to pick one, Japanese sushi, great stuff. Is it my ultimate favorite? No, maybe right now I'm thinking about it. I mean, there's lots of good stuff, but I'll just stop with that one for now.
I am. I'm a garbage human being. I really enjoy. Like, I'm a bit of a nacho snob. Like, my wife made some of the best nachos I've ever had in my life the other day, and if you say that those like bullshit that you get from the theater, where it's just like the little like nacho dip and tortillas, that's not nachos. It's got to have like at least it needs to have some onion. It has to have some sort of like pepper, sour cream, some salsa. Like, yeah. So probably my all time favorite is just because I literally had it 2 nights ago. Nachos. The sushi's really good too. Sushi's in my top 5 for sure.
So I should change my answer. Yeah, my favorite food is movie theater nachos, right? Basically the chips and the quasi-melted cheese.
I'm out of the...
And just the fact that you have to pay $17 for it, it must be gourmet. That is some good stuff.
Jeez, no. Yeah. It ain't even real cheese. It's fucking Velveeta.
It's processed Velveeta cheese.
Yeah.
So, what is it? Processed fiberglass. Yeah.
I mean, at this point, everything's processed. So why do we say that's not processed meat or something? So.
Microplastics, I mean,
oh god,
you can't even eat Taco Bell now. Like the lettuce is bad. Like who would have thought you'd think that you weren't supposed to eat your vegetables nowadays?
Yeah, but the end result, it's the same. Taco Bell, it doesn't really matter if they have parasitic lettuce or not. You're still gonna.
Yeah, I mean. The diarrhea kind of came with the Taco Bell, right? Like they invented that.
Oh god, I'm gonna have diarrhea again. Yeah. Oh, dude,
here we go.
Bob, bathroom. So, yeah. I will say sushi. It's amazing how much. Pretty much all the interviews I have done, sushi has really come up a good bit. To be honest,
I mean, sushi is amazing. Like I mean, it's like it's just fish and rice and seaweed. Like. Can't go wrong.
It could go wrong.
It could. But there's not many people who don't like sushi.
Right.
But yeah.
It's funny you mentioned about the nachos, because I don't know if there's a restaurant by the name of Atria's that's extended nationwide, but there used to be a restaurant chain called Atria's. They used to do like these pork style nachos. They basically had it was the chips, then it was the pork itself, and then finished through all the fixings on top right there with like sour cream and all the other stuff that too. Good God, was that stuff good?
Oh yeah. I mean, we like growing up in the South, me being from Tennessee, I lived in Texas, we had basically like barbecue, like barbecue joint nachos, like where it has like barbecue pork or brisket or burn ends or something like that. But yeah, those are the best. Like, I mean, that's a heart attack waiting to happen, but I would gladly die for those nachos.
It's like we are real thin for what we eat. That'll do. So.
Oh yeah. One question for you, actually, though, and something that I found out about, and I really wanted to try it. But you being from Pennsylvania, do you know about tea-berry? Like tea-berry ice cream and stuff like that?
No, I don't actually. I guess is this like a particular brand for like a Ben and Jerry's or something, or
no? Like so, apparently it's a Pennsylvania staple, and my friends from we'll say Lancaster because they're from a smaller town than that, but they were telling me about tea-berry. And hold on, I'll read it to you. Tea-berry ice cream. Well, hold up. There we go. Tea-berry ice cream flavor made with the eastern tea-berry fruit, a regional flavor of the U.S. state of Pennsylvania. Has a taste similar to wintergreen and is often pink in color. So Pepto-Bismol is what I'm getting from that. But that's apparently that's a big, it's as big as Yingling up there. Apparently.
I guess so, but that's news to me. So I'm going to probably check that out. So.
There you go.
So thank you, Austin.
You're welcome.
All great choices right there. I guess in terms of movie or TV shows, I guess you guys got a particular favorite between the two?
I'm watching. I mean, I just got finished watching Interview with the Vampire, the third season, and that's pretty dope. Outlander. It's all like really cheesy romance stuff. I don't know if you watch Outlander. Do you watch Outlander?
I mean, I know the whole skit. It's like there could only be one, or that whole deal. That might be the older one. But whatever.
Oh no, you're thinking of Highlander.
Highlander. Oh,
Highlander. Yeah. Outlander is like on I think it's Stars, but yeah, it's Scottish. But yeah, there's a it's kind of a long story, but lady goes back in time. She's from the 1940s. She goes back in time to like pre-colonial times, meets this Scottish Highlander guy, and they fall in love. My wife started watching it, and then I watched it, and then I was like, hey, no, this is pretty dope. And now we're on the last season of it. But yeah, so I've been watching that. What about you, Cliff?
I'm busy. I don't have time for that. I mean, sometimes I'll throw a movie on. You know what movie I watched? Again, it's been around a long time, and I forgot. It was absolutely one of my favorites years and years and years ago, and I kind of forgot about it. Last of the Mohicans. You heard of that one?
Oh, yeah.
Killer movie. Yeah. Daniel Day-Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
I watched The Odyssey in IMAX like a couple days ago, and that was honestly, it's going to win all the Oscars. It's a 10 out of 10 movie. There's nothing wrong with that movie.
Yeah, I want to see that.
Go see it, and you got to watch it in the 70 millimeter. Well, there's not 70 millimeter here. The nearest one is in Orlando, but watch it in IMAX. It's really good.
I keep getting a mixed reception with The Odyssey for some reason because it's almost like
bad is just wrong. It's wrong.
It's not like they're saying like, wait, he didn't actually use like actual Greek people who actually knew about ancient Greek and all that. So
yeah, well, and it's like not historically accurate. It's a fake. It didn't really happen. You could say that people were purple.
I mean, we could say it was also based on maybe historical events, but I mean, like we're not following an actual quote for quote sort of thing going on here, people.
Yeah, so. I mean, get out of here. It's got fucking Matt Damon and Tom Holland and all-star acting cast, and they did a fantastic job. There's nothing wrong with that movie.
Actually, I think the one that irked people the most was Helena Troy being black. So,
I mean, Greek people, if you actually have been to Greece and you look at them, they're not exactly white.
I mean, I just find it funny, so I'm not trying to pass heads or anything. But
no. I'm just saying it's ridiculous the way people look at it. I mean, I'm all for like being as accurate as you can, but in this case, I think that there's some leeway that can be given, But yeah.
People like to find flaws. Like, why didn't they cast Stallone as the lead? I find offense with that.
Yeah.
Because he'd be too stuck in the Rocky persona, to be honest. He would be holding the sword. So.
Yeah.
Fisticuffs.
Hey, yo, Adrian. It's all that shit, But
actually,
it's a great movie.
Actually, I wonder if it was more so because he's still stuck at Tulsa King or something.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
I haven't seen that, but I've heard good things about that. But
when I was a kid, man, I used to love the early Rockies 1 and 2. But you see how there's a movie coming out this fall, I Play Rocky, where it's basically the story of Sylvester Stallone kind of writing up the whole Rocky 1 script and kind of getting it out. That looks awesome. I'm looking forward to that one as well.
I haven't seen that, but I'll have to look out for that.
It's a biography basically about him. So somebody is playing. Yeah, go check out the trailer for it. It's out now basically, but it's just like it looks phenomenal. The whole story of how Rocky 1 was his breakthrough, kind of film, and how he put the whole thing together. He wanted to sell the script, but demanded that he played the lead and stuff. It looks really cool.
I know he kind of had a hard time just trying to sell it at first because it was almost like, what, fuck it. We'll just do it for a couple $100. Ended up being the big blockbuster that put him in the 1%, we could say, in a certain way. So,
yeah.
All right.
100%.
All good choices. So I'm not sure if you guys drink, but if you do you have a favorite alcoholic drink? And then what's your favorite alcoholic drink?
You want to go first?
Sure. So for the non-alcoholic drink, coffee, I mean, that is the best beverage in the history of civilization and prior to human civilization. Alcoholic, I mean, I'm not like an alcohol aficionado. Jameson's pretty good stuff. Otherwise, I'm happy with Bud Light. I know a lot of people will be very disappointed with that, but that's okay. And that's my answer.
Much like nachos, I'm a beer snob. So I do not partake in the lights of the Bud, but I mean, if I have to like go with it, I mean, funny enough, it's Pennsylvania staple is it's Yingling, and the Black and Tans are usually my go-tos. Right now, I am drinking an Orange Blossom Ale from I think it's Bold City Brewery. But yes, I'm a beer guy. I like whiskey. I like Irish whiskey. I like Jameson. Being from Tennessee, of course, Jack Daniels. You got to get with the bourbon. Whistle Pig is really good. Non-alcoholic, I am a Dr. Pepper fiend, and I think that's the nectar of the gods. So
I'd say, yeah, those are all great choices. And I know Angry Orchard was also based, maybe one of their locations was kind of based in Pennsylvania there too. I tend to get more into the ciders. So,
you like ciders? Okay.
And sweet drinks. I tend to like, if it's going to go heavy, I like it to be sweet. So,
hey, and the thing is, like, I used to be one of those people that's like, yeah, like cider's not a real beer, but I like ciders too. I like shandies. The only one I don't really get behind is sours. I'm not a big sours guy. I don't know. Just I like sour food, but my beer I don't want it to be sour.
Sweet, sour, if we wanted to maybe say it that way too. But
yeah,
all right, whatever. All right, and for the last of the fun questions, I guess who you guys be listening to in terms of music, whether they're mainstream or independent?
I'm thinking. I feel like you could have asked me the same question 6 months ago or 6 years ago. It's still the same. It's all the same stuff, really. Even though they've been around a little bit. Like today, I was just re-listening to Lord of Lost. You know that? Yeah, killer band from Germany. That's another good one. They're pretty cool.
Let's say LOL, which is kind of funny. What do you think
Yeah.
that too?
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I did not hear about them, but I'll have to check that out. Lord of Lost. Okay. Write it down.
Is there any other ones you want to add to it, Cliff?
Not right now. No, that's good.
Okay. Okay, I always say that I have like musically bipolar. I jump around a lot, so I'll just give you the top 5 artists I've been listening to this week because it will change. I've been listening to Slipknot because you gotta listen to Slipknot. In Flames, Trivium. I've been listening to a lot of Gemini Syndrome. If you listen to those guys, they're pretty cool. They're not super well known, but they had like a couple hits. And this band called the Black Queen. Do you know who they are? Do you know who the Dillinger Escape Plan is?
I do know them, yeah.
Okay, so the lead singer of Dillinger Escape Plan, Greg Puciato, he started a band with what is his name? He was in Nine Inch Nails.
What, Trent Reznor?
No, not Trent Reznor. Like one of the other guys. Something Corsini. He's with the drummer for not Josh Freese, but one of the drummers for Nine Inch Nails. But it's called the Black Queen. It's like synth pop music. So yeah, it's like The Cure and Nine Inch Nails with more danceable beats. And a newer band that hopefully we will be doing some stuff with. We actually got to meet these guys the other night. It's called Blood of the Earth. But listen to some of their stuff, and they're pretty good too. So listen to them, put them on your rotation. But that's the current touring bassist of 6 Feet Under, his new band. So,
That's pretty cool.
a little promotion for those guys too.
Yep. Look up Double Horns for the work they've been doing out there too. So
Yeah.
All right, all great choices. All right, so boys, we're down to one more question in my podcast. I guess before we jump into it, would you guys like to ask me one question apiece real quick?
Would we like to ask you one question?
Yes.
No. I'm just kidding. If you were to go to Arby's right now, what would you order?
You know what? Actually, it was a couple weeks ago. It was the first time I'd been to Arby's in a while because the one that we have, it's kind of on a little bit of a dangerous spot because you can't make a left turn out of there without probably having near misses or some sort of T-bone accident could have happened right there too. But I actually had a chicken bacon Swiss, actually, and that was pretty damn good to say the least. So, but I really missed when they did the 5 for $5 deal when it was like 2 sandwiches, the fries, cheese sticks, and then like a drink. So that was killer back in the day. So I'd say that's my go-to for now. It might change eventually. So I'll say it like that.
It was a random question. I was just talking to my family about it earlier, and apparently I'm the only Arby's fan in my house. And everyone else is like, it's like a piece of plastic meat. I'm like, no, Arby's is awesome.
They certainly do deserve a bit more recognition, to say the least. I think they're like, compared to like Burger King, McDonald's, Wendy's, and those guys, they seem to be lower. But I think they still manage to stay afloat somehow.
Yeah. No, if I had something to declare tonight, 2 things. I would say check out Embers of Dawn and then go eat at Arby's. Beef and cheddar is really good.
That's true. Yeah. And Austin, are you trying to look up something?
Yeah. I want to make it a good one. All right. Here's the really hard question, okay? Would you rather be able to perfectly parallel park or perfectly fold a fitted sheet?
I'd say more so the fitted sheet because I deal with that a lot more, to be honest. The good news is I don't parallel park a whole lot. I only had to do it. I was trying to get my license, and that was it. So unless I had to do it in a city somehow, which I doubt, because I think I'm always going to look for a parking spot somehow. So even if I have to torture myself up and down. Even if I have to torture myself up and down Bourbon Street or even like Broadway or anything like that too, I will find a parking spot.
Right.
So
that's the first thing I asked my wife. She's like, "Hey, do you want to go do this?" And I'm like, "Is there parking?" And if it's no, then I don't want to do it.
I am not walking a mile just to go eat at the barbecue joint.
Well, I mean, when we went to the concert the other night, I was like, "Cliff, I got the best thing. I've got a free parking space. It's like down the street from my work. It was like a block away, and it was great. So didn't have to worry about finding parking or." And it was a show that was like in the middle of downtown too. So like that's usually a nightmare. But yeah,
score. So yeah.
All right.
Anything else, or is it okay we jump into the last question?
We can jump into it.
All right. So here's how I phrase it, and Cliff, you can go first. So, given the amount of negativity that you have been seeing going on in the world these days, whether through the media or even social media for that matter, these days people need some sort of hope. So what would be your message of hope for musicians and people out there so they can move forward with their lives?
You're asking a pessimist this question. Okay.
I mean, I'm pessimistic too, and sometimes I get nihilistic at times, so don't feel bad.
What words of hope do I have for us? I can't even think of anything comical, to tell you the truth. At least you have us. You have this. This will make the world a better place if everyone streamed it and listened to it. You'll feel happier. The endorphins will flow. This is the solution. This is where we're at in the world. This will help you. That's all I got.
I mean, I have to agree. Listen to Embers of Dawn. It'll get you in a better mood. It's really feel-good, happy music. It is purely about butterflies, rainbows, and unicorns. Come out to a show whenever we play a show. Like, we we preach the gospel of metal, all that good shit. But no, if I'm being serious, and as somebody who is a pessimist and is trying to constantly do work to get myself out of a pessimistic mindset, life is too short to be pissed off and sad all the time. Like, even if it's just the little things, like just, if you got gas in the tank, you got food in the fridge, find the little things to be happy about, like the world can be shit. A lot of times it's going to be shit, but like, things that kind of keep you tethered is just think about things that you do have, put things into perspective. And, like for instance, like me, like I'm like, hey, like maybe I don't like my day job, but hey, I get to be in a band and I get to make music, and that's something that's really fucking cool. And, if I was just in a shit mood all the time, I probably wouldn't want to make music, and then I would kick myself later, like just life's too short not to do the shit that you want to do. So do what the fuck you want to. There you
In
go.
which case, spoke like a true prodigy. So,
Yeah.
all right, that's all cool. So, boys, we have reached the end of our podcast right here. We talked a little over an hour and 20 some minutes, but I guess before we close out, would you like to give any shout outs to anybody real quick?
Who do we have?
Shout out to Richie Wainwright.
Yeah,
Shout
sure.
out to Adrian Erlinson. Shout out to everybody who is currently listening to us. Go listen to go watch Infernal. Shout out to our families who let us do this shit, even though like we're fucking crazy. Anything you want to add to that, Cliff?
Shout out to Brian. Thanks for having us and taking the time.
Shout out to Brian. Yeah, fuck yeah.
Appreciate you taking the time and giving us a little bit of exposure,
No worries. That's it. Here's my little quote. All a little bit crazy, aren't we?
Yes, sir.
So, all right. And lastly, for the audience, what social media and stream platforms are you guys on so people can check out your music and interact?
All the usuals. Instagram, Facebook, we're there. You can stream it. It's all over the place. Spotify, Apple, YouTube, it's all over. You'll find us. Just look us up.
Honestly, I really want to see somebody make the opening bit to Infernal like a TikTok dance. So, I asked my wife and she said it's girly pop for whatever that means. So dance to Infernal.
That'd be interesting. So it's a nice little school project, we could say, for other people if they want to take it up.
Exactly. So. Yeah. See what you can do with it, All
right. But let me just close it like this real quick. So, everyone, my guests today were Cliff and Austin. They're part of the band Embers of Dawn. They're out of Jacksonville, Florida right now. They got some material out. Go check out Infernal. It's on all the streaming platforms as well as the music video on YouTube. Go up on the socials, all streaming platforms. Let's go support our brothers out there and keep your eyes peeled when their new material comes out in September and whatever shows they got lined up sometime this year. So, most likely be in the Florida region, but Georgia, keep your eyes open there too.
Georgia, we got you.
All right. So, boys, you do stay safe because it is one pretty fucked up world out there. Rock on. And lastly, strike a pose for the audience. Stay tuned, y'all.
See you.